How do you stop living check by check? Money is something you kind of got to have if you want to live. And I mean, it's hard to really have anything in this life without money. And so we got to know how to manage it, what to do with it, how to get it.
That money is required.
Yeah.
For us to live. A form of money, currency, is required everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I like to tell people is you don't have a money problem, you have a management problem. And that goes over like a lead balloon oftentimes.
Yeah.
Because they think, nah, man, if I had more money, I would have less problems. No, you just have bigger problems. Statistically, I believe in the U.S., it's less than 40%, or right around 42%, if I remember right, of Americans do not have a rainy day fund. They do not have emergency finances. If something happens in their home or in their life, they don't have the means to see themselves through.
Yeah.
Because they just don't have it.
And I actually did not know that God created money. And one verse that popped into my head was how in the Bible it says money is the root of all evil. How could God create such a thing if it's the root of all evil?
Well, the Bible, first of all, does not say that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody misquotes that, and they misquote a lot of things in Scripture and twist it. There's a word that you're leaving out there. It says not that money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money. See, when you love money more than anything, you're willing to do almost anything for money.
Is debt always a bad thing?
No, it's not. It can be. All right. Now, there are two types of debt that you need to be aware of.
So obviously money management is pretty important when it comes to money. And so my question is, what is the number one key to having money management?
The number one key to having money management is going to be wisdom. Okay? You've got to be wise. And listen, wisdom isn't necessarily education. Knowledge is information on a subject, on a fact. It's just the knowledge of it.
Yeah.
Understanding is I can process it and it makes sense to me what you're talking to me about. And wisdom is how do I apply that?
How important is it for people to have like a savings or a rainy day funds?
Man, it's crucial. It's crucial because if you were to look at it like this and say zero money, dead broke, no money is the cliff. Standing on that cliff is $5. That's you with $5. One step and you are dead broke, right? That's the danger of zero. Having a savings account or rainy day fund takes you and pulls you back away from that cliff. You should try to get far away from that cliff as possible.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like heights. I don't mind jumping out of airplanes and parachuting. I don't mind doing crazy stuff, rappelling off high towers and stuff. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when I'm not safe doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You take me up and put me on top of a tower without a rope or something, I'm going to panic. Why? Because I understand the danger.
Yeah, right.
And I don't like it. And so when I feel myself in danger, I like to move away from it. My natural instinct is to move back away from a cliff. And if something bad happens, you have a flat tire, you have the battery in your car goes out, it's going to take more than $100 to get you back on the road.
Yeah.
So you're very close to destruction. And so if your car doesn't work, you don't get to go to work. You don't get to go to work, more financial problems.
I feel like some people would say, man, it's so hard to save right now because everything is so expensive. And so my question is, how do you make everything cheaper?
The simple answer, make more money.
Yeah.
Make more money. you're not going to talk the grocery store into lowering the prices.
Right.
How are we going to make this cheaper? Make more money and you won't feel it as much. And you're like, that's offensive. I would make more money if I could. Well, could you? Are you sure? Money is everywhere. You know why people don't like the word budget?
What?
Because budget is a boss over them telling them no. No, you can't have it.
Yeah.
No, you can't buy it. No, you can't eat it.
Yeah.
And listen, people don't like to be told no. The problem is a lot of people are so near destruction that they're living paycheck to paycheck, or shall I say it this way, miracle to miracle.
How exactly do you invest in order to make money?
Number one, and I'm going to keep driving the point home, wisdom. Everybody wants to find out, how can I rest more? If you want to be successful, you ought to be finding out, how can I work more?
If you were to break this down in like a 3-step process, how would you break that down?
How to get ahead in 3 steps?
Yep. How to get ahead in 3 steps.
Number one, I would say